Well, it's not a bad view, is it, if you're up there on top of the palace looking over the bay here in Monaco. But as always, the very best place to watch Formula One racing is on your television screens on the BBC. Good evening. Welcome to highlights of the 2009 Monaco Grand Prix here on BBC Three. Last year, Lewis Hamilton was the guy who won the race that every driver wants to win. But who would do it 12 months later? Well, you'll see the race highlights in just a few moments with Jonathan Ledyard and Martin Brundle. But first, here's Ted Kravitz to explain what happened in qualifying on Saturday.
Of all the qualifying sessions of the season, Monaco has the biggest effect on the race outcome. It requires more concentration, more precision, more nerve, focus and skill than any other. If you get it wrong, you can't overtake, and you're condemned to a race with little chance of success. Getting it wrong in so many ways was Lewis Hamilton. He admitted he braked too late and lost the rear of the McLaren.
Don't know what I was thinking. I made a mistake, and it's been going well all weekend. I apologise to the team for wasting the time.
Felipe Massa had an early scare but would survive into Q3. But both Toyotas were eliminated in Q1 with no grip, while it was the same story for the BMWs as desperation set in with wild setup changes.
We also tried to change completely setup to see if it helped, but it didn't, so yeah, it looks like whatever we do, we are always there.
The Force Indias and the Toro Rossos achieved higher grid positions than usual. Nelson Piquet underperformed yet again in the Renault. But massive frustration for Sebastian Vettel. He had the lightest fuel load of them all, but the Williams held him up and the chance of pole was gone.
It's difficult. I mean, we were expecting more, so our chance is getting smaller. But on the other hand, hope is always there, and we're here to fight.
Kimi Raikkonen starts on the front row, but he doubts he'll be able to exploit his Kerr's boost at the start.
We used, but I mean, it's probably not the length of the straight for the first corner is probably not enough.
But what you need in Monaco is a car with great mechanical grip, and that's where the Brawn excels. Jenson Button delivered the exceptional lap of qualifying, pole position from Raikkonen and his teammate Rubens Barrichello.
I thought I had him, because I had him for the whole weekend, and all of a sudden he appears from nowhere. I mean, I got out of the car and I hugged him and said, I mean, well done, you're doing fantastic.
Again, this weekend we started with a car that I wasn't happy with, and we've worked so hard over the last few days to get it right, and it came good in qualifying, and it's the best lap I've done this weekend for sure. My last qualifying lap, and probably one of the best laps ever in my life.
So the most important pole of the season goes to the runaway championship leader, Button's 7th career pole. Kimi Raikkonen with real pace. Barrichello and Vettel on the second row. Massa ended up 5th. Rosberg felt he should have done better than 6th. Then it's Kovalainen, Webber and Alonso set for a race-long battle. Best of the season for Kazuki Nakajima. Sebastian Buemi was the class of the midfield, while Giancarlo Fisichella the quickest Force India. A combined budget of £400 million, and all Toyota and BMW could manage, was the last 3 rows of the grid. Last year's winner, Lewis Hamilton, starts at the back after a gearbox change, while Toyota decided to change Timo Glock's setup, so he starts from the pit lane.
And this is the way that it's standing at the moment. Jenson Button arrives here with 41 points from the first 5 races. That's championship form by anybody's standards. His teammate Rubens Barrichello, well, he'll be more likely looking over his shoulder now at the Red Bulls of Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel, who are eyeing up his 2nd place. Well, championship winners Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Raikkonen, they're all having to get used to life away from the sharp end of things at present. And looking at the constructors, Brawn GP currently have more points than their 2 nearest rivals combined. McLaren, Renault, BMW, Ferrari, they all know that to satisfy the fans and the money men, they need to start producing. In the current financial climate, it's a dangerous time to not be doing the business on the track.
3 words: location, location, location. And currently there's a Formula One storyline to match. As one Hollywood studio man said to me after Jenson Button won the Spanish Grand Prix 2 weeks ago, we'd never dare write a script like this. So, on the right-hand side, it's Button, then Raikkonen, then Barrichello, then Vettel, Massa and Rosberg. Button on the right, Raikkonen on the left as we look. 4 lights. They're out now and away in Monaco. Great start by Jenson Button and Barrichello as well. He's got the jump, it's Brawn. 1 and 2 into the first corner. Brawn from Brawn. Ferrari from Red Bull. Massa 5th, Rosberg 6th.
Oh, look at this. Massa fancies a look at Vettel. Oh, good, close racing there.
Here comes Massa again, darting round. Still can't find a way through. Oh, hello.
He's going to have to let him through and then try and slot back in. Where's Rosberg? There he is. He's got that inside. Rosberg's all ready to pounce and gets the apex turning point, and well, instead of making a place, Massa's lost one. And look, and Rosberg's through, and so is Massa now. Vettel's got no rear grip, they'll have to pit him.
Camillo's through as well, look at that. So they're all coming through now. Ooh.
Oh, he's got his braking all wrong, and he's just shoving Piquet straight into the barriers. It's happening, this is a replay, obviously, up the inside, and a good old bounce.
That's Sebastian Vettel, and that's him gone.
Right, there he goes, he understeered into the apex, and then you get on the dirty stuff, and there's nothing you can do.
Button comes in on lap 16, which will leave Nico Rosberg in the lead. But where will Jenson Button funnel out?
And is that Rosberg going through? So Rosberg goes through into the lead then.
Rosberg, we understand, is coming in this lap. The leader, there is Nico Rosberg.
Yeah, he went wide through the first part of the swimming pool, leapt off the bump, got the rear tyre on the dirty part of the racetrack, and wipes the nose off against the barrier.
Confirmation there of the top 8. Brawn from Ferrari, from Red Bull, from Brawn. Webber and Massa in the pits, Martin. Here we are. So Button escapes even more. Now this is going to be crucial. Rubens Barrichello, where is he on the track? There is this pit straight. There is Rubens Barrichello. This is looking very, very tidy, surely, for Messrs Button, Barrichello and Brawn. Through the tunnel. He's been through that, you might say, for the last 2 years in the darkness. Now in the sunshine with Brawn in Monaco. The last few corners. How sweet will this feel? This is a checkered flag he was probably dreaming about. Jenson Button coming through now for Brawn Grand Prix. We're in the 6th race, and it's his 5th victory. Jenson Button wins in Monaco. He is number 1, and will he be there on November the 1st in Abu Dhabi as well? With Rubens Barrichello second for Brawn, it's another 1-2 for Ross Brawn and his team. Their 3rd of the season. Kimi Raikkonen comes through in 3rd, Massa 4th, Mark Webber 5th. Rosberg should be 6th and Alonso 7th.
You've done it, man! Great job! The one we all wanted. Well done. Awesome drive.
Monaco, baby! Yeah!
Great job. We'll have mix 12 and pick up rubber, please. Fantastic work, and well done on the options as well. Great job.
There's a happy daddy, there's a happy driver, it's a happy race engineer, and if you're anywhere near the Shippen Castle in Monaco and Fonvier, the drinks will be on John Button. That's his local, and that's where they'll be dancing tonight, undoubtedly. Another great weekend, another great race weekend for Jenson Button and the Brawn team.
Yeah, it's a champion's drive.
5 out of 6, that's the same as Nigel Mansell, the same as Michael Schumacher, and guess what they went on to win in those particular seasons. You may not like to talk about the championship, Jenson, but it's looking very, very good, and very, very likely that Lewis Hamilton's successor as the Formula 1 World Champion will be British. Enjoy the evening, enjoy those champagne moments. There could yet be more in 2009 for Brawn and Button.
So Brawn dominate once again. 10 points for Jenson Button, 8 points for Rubens Barrichello. Delight for Kimi Raikkonen. He came in 3rd. That's 6 points for him, with his teammate Felipe Massa for Ferrari just behind him. Mark Webber, Nico Rosberg, Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Bourdais also scored points today. And this is what it means for the Drivers' Championship. Jenson Button, 51 points now. That puts him 16 points ahead of Rubens. Sebastian Vettel, disappointing day for him. He stays on 23. Mark Webber moves up with 19.5 points now. Bad weekend for Toyota. Fernando Alonso, Kimi Raikkonen and Lewis Hamilton. Look at that. 3 former world champions in 7th, 8th and 9th. And if we take a look at the final 10 drivers, you can see Robert Kubica there. He was pushing for the title last season, and now he sits rock bottom, 20th place. And in the Constructors' Championship, you can see that Brawn are simply dominant. 86 points, more than double that of Red Bull. Toyota are sitting 3rd. Ferrari now move above McLaren, then are 4th in the Constructors' race. Renault, Williams, BMW, they'd all like to do better. Toro Rosso have got 5 points at the bottom there. Force India yet to score. Let's hear from the guys who finished at the very front of the field in the Monaco Grand Prix.
2009 Monaco Grand Prix winner. How does that sound?
Sounds wicked. I crossed the line and I said to the boys, yeah, Monaco, baby, and it's so true. This one means so much for all of the team, and I said before the race it doesn't. That might have been a little white lie. I didn't want to put any pressure on myself, but yeah, to win here is exceptional, and the team have worked fantastically. I know I keep saying it, but it's the truth. You know, I cannot say how much they've helped me over the last few months, and well done to them all.
you could see at the start of the race I had a better pace than Jensen, and I just struggled with the graining rear, and that's basically set me back. But there is a negative way of looking into that and seeing, once again Jensen won, or a different way on a much more positive thing, thinking that Monaco you don't overtake, but you start third and I finish second, so you gotta be happy with that. I take the second option.
How does it feel when you're standing on the podium? Was it relief?
Like I said, for me it was still disappointing not to win, but for the team definitely a good result, and they got a lot of out from how hard they have pushed and worked for the car. So for them was a good result.
Lewis, what a difference a year makes. It looks a bit of a lonely race out there for you at some points.
Yeah, I mean it was extremely tough race. I feel quite satisfied though, because first of all, I wanted to just, I was thinking of one of the Rocky films, he said in the first film, he said, I just want to see the end of the fight. And, I got to the flag and that, I pushed as hard as I could throughout the race. But congratulations to Jensen and the Braun team. They're clearly doing a fantastic job this year. And but for us, we'll keep pushing and, what can we do?
The last 2 laps I did slow down. I took it all in, and a very enjoyable 2 laps. I had the biggest smile on my face. My jaw was hurting. But a great end to the weekend, and and then I parked in the wrong place.
I was going to say 78 laps is normally enough, but you seemed quite keen to do another on foot.
I'm not very good at parking. It's not, and so I ran to the start line, which 400 meters with your helmet on after a race in Monaco. Normally you'd think crazy, but when the adrenaline's pumping, you'll do anything. So it was great. It was a really emotional moment.
Well, I think we should get the thoughts of a 2-time winner here at Monaco. David, tell us what Jensen will be going through right now, having won the race here.
Yeah, well, you heard as he crossed the line, he was shouting, Monaco, yeah, baby. He is delighted with the victory. Only 10 points like all the other 4 Grand Prix that he's won already this year. But this is the one that he's always wanted to win. He's a local boy. He's been based here for several years. And to win in the streets of Monte Carlo, you can't take anything away from that performance.
And what was special about the performance wasn't just that he won the race. He dominated the race.
Yeah, the thing that's been amazing about his performances this year is he pulls that lap out in qualifying to take the pole position. He's only started not on pole in 1 Grand Prix. And that was the key to getting into that first corner today. We expected Raikkonen with the KER system and the Ferrari to possibly have the opportunity to out-launch him, but that just never happened. And then from there, he said he didn't want to admit he was controlling the pace of his teammate Rubens, but that's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, Rubens Barrichello's come out and actually said that his seatbelt was loose in the car, which was affecting the way he was driving today. How would you surmise Rubens' performance?
I think Rubens is doing a solid job, and I think for Braun it's absolutely fantastic to have such a good number 2. He wouldn't like me to refer to him as that, but the reality is he's doing a great number 2 job. How many 1-2 finishes have they had this season? He's just had his 37th birthday. Of course, he would love to be winning these Grand Prix, but the reality is Jensen's just taking more out of this car.
And the pecking order at the start of the year was Red Bull a certain second behind Braun. It looks today like Ferrari may have snatched that spot. A good performance for Ferrari. They sort of look back in the game, don't they?
Yeah, Ferrari needed a strong weekend. They've delivered it here. The pace was good in qualifying, pace was good in the race. They've still got some ways to go to be able to really compete with Braun for the victory. But nonetheless, this is the start of the Ferrari comeback.
And now we all head off to Turkey.
Yeah, 2 weeks off to Turkey. It's a real high-speed aerodynamic circuit, very similar to Barcelona where we were 2 weeks ago. So it'll be very interesting to see just what the pecking order is there.
Fantastic, David. Thank you very much. And I, for one, can't wait for the Turkish Grand Prix. And you can see it all live and uninterrupted. You get the best seats in the house on the BBC. 2 weeks' time, the Turkish Grand Prix. You can press the red button during the race for a whole host of interactive options. And talking of getting interactive, if you can't wait between now and Turkey, then just check out the BBC Sport website for a whole load of Formula 1 related goodies. Right, that's it from us. Jenson Button wins in Monaco. The big question is, can he win the world title? See you in 2 weeks.